Alexa, Siri, and Google Homes. To me, first things comes to mind after reaching home is to switch on my air conditioner or draw my curtains. If these things can be automated, don't they turn your home into a modern abode with modern facilities? If you are someone who likes technology making life easier, check out this episode of Your Home Inside Out with KS Associates, where we get all beans spilled by an expert, Sandeep Arora. Sandeep is an engineer with MBA. Sandeep started his career with Bose Corporation in 2005 and was heading whole of the northern part of the country. Now Sandeep is director at Croyer, where they deal with full range of audio, video and automation for residential commercial projects. Hello Sandeep, how are you?
Good, Karan.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Karan, for inviting on the show.
So we had a lot of inquiries from our viewers regarding what is the kind of solutions in home audio, video, or even for, let's say, commercial spaces which are available in the market these days.
So there are lots of solutions available in the for residential as well as commercial spaces.
Okay.
So when I specifically talk about the residential spaces,
Okay.
so there are solutions wherein we can run the same music all across the house.
Okay.
At the same point of time, the customer, the individual user,
Okay.
gets the liberty to use individually in his room.
Okay.
So you can play the same music as well as the different music in your room. So if suppose you have some party going on in your house, so you would like to have the same music flowing across the house. In that case, same music can be flowed all across the house.
Okay.
Whereas the same system can be used. So suppose you are seated in your bedroom, you come late hours in the evening and want to watch some movie. So that point of time, individually for that your room, you can play different thing on your system, and your kids can play different music on their room.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So this is how it is.
And what is the right stage to put in all this system? Are they put in at the time of construction only, or in the already pre-constructed houses this can also be fixed?
So very good question, Karan, you asked here. So if I talk about the places which are under construction,
Okay.
so that is the very, very, very right stage to start any work.
Okay.
So when we start the electrical conduiting for any site, that is the right time when our audio consultant must be in the picture.
Okay. Okay.
Whereas these days we have lots of solutions which can run on Wi-Fi. So if you have already constructed your house, even then there are thousands of solutions available in market which can work out well for these kind of spaces.
Okay. And other than audio video, there's another concept or another question we keep listening from our viewers is about home automation.
Right.
So what exactly is home automation? If you can just explain that in simple words, that will be really wonderful.
Okay. So again, I would say that this is something which is grooming like anything in India market these days.
Okay.
There are hundreds of companies which are working on this particular area.
Okay.
So when I talk about automation.
Okay.
So when we talk about automation, then I'm talking about controlling each and every device of your house.
Okay.
Which are controllable.
Okay.
So suppose I talk about the main gate of your house, that can be controlled.
Okay.
So let me quote an example here. Suppose you start from your office.
Okay.
You say you will reach your home in 20 minutes.
Okay.
The moment you sit in your car, you give the command from your phone, and by the time you reach home, your AC turns on, and by the time you reach home, your room is cool.
Okay.
Same ways you can do it for the geyser as well. So the moment you start from your office, you again give the command, geyser turns on, you reach home, take a hot bath. Now, when you reach the entrance of your house, you give a command from the phone again, gate will automatically open.
Okay.
So this is home automation. This is one part of automation, I would say.
Okay.
Now the other thing which comes into home automation is controlling your curtains with your phone, controlling your TV, controlling your ACs,
Okay.
controlling your main door gate,
Okay.
having a view of the whole house with the help of CCTV, even if you're seated in the other country.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it gives you all the flexibility, ease of using the things.
Okay.
So this is what home automation is. I quote another example of home automation here. Suppose you have a home theater in your house.
Okay.
So when I talk about home theater, what all you have in home theater is your speakers, your amplifiers, your any cassette player, any DVDs, though it is obsoleted these days, projector, screen, AC, lights. So what happens is the moment you come into your home theater room setup, you say, I want to enjoy my home theater now. Give a command, automatically screen comes down, projector turns on, amplifiers turn on and speakers start playing. just with a click of a button.
Wow.
Everything happens.
That's wonderful.
And once we're done with your movie, again press the button, everything goes back into the reverse direction. This is what home automation is. An example of home automation, I would say.
Going with the home automation only. So what are the key things that we should keep in mind while, anybody is designing their home automation or, getting it designed from someone?
So when I talk about specifically the home automation part, three things which I emphasize on most.
Okay.
Rather, these three things are very important for any solution.
Okay.
So number one is the right product.
Okay.
Number two is the right designing.
Okay.
Number three is the right execution.
Okay.
So when I talk about right product, so there are hundreds of home automation companies operating in these days in country.
Okay.
Hundreds of companies. But there are very few specific companies which actually turn out to well.
Okay.
So home automation makes life wonderful if it is done well. And if it is not done well, you will repent throughout your life why you did home automation.
Okay.
Now, so that's why I emphasize a lot on doing the right company's product, which is the right suitable product for your requirement.
Okay.
Now, the second thing which I again emphasize a lot on, it needs to be designed by a right guy, the one who has the right knowledge about the product, the engineer who knows it well, should be doing the designing part.
Okay.
Number third part is the execution. So when I talk about execution, again, there are two important things in it. One is installing the product. The other important part is the programming of the home automation. So if it is installed well and then programmed well, and in totality, if these three things are properly taken care of, it turns out to be a wonderful solution. Otherwise, it goes for waste and you will keep repenting throughout your life what it has done. So that is something which I emphasize a lot on the home automation part.
So, this leads us to the next question, which was, also a lot asked by the audience and, also was in my mind.
Please.
Is what you mentioned is a home theater.
Right.
So let's say I want to have a home theater in my home.
Right.
So, is there any specification or any criteria that should I first observe to have that home theater in my home? Kind of how much space would be required? There's a height restriction or anything, if you can just explain.
See, yes, there are certain restrictions like this, but these days with the help of acoustics, so all these things can be conquered easily. So it's not a big deal. So, but still, I would say that anything above than 150, 200 square feet of area works well for it.
Oh wow!
And the longer area is the better area.
Okay.
Lesser in width and longer in length works well for any home theater. So these are the two things which majorly take care of. Apart from that is taken care by your home acoustics.
Okay.
Again, it needs to be done by the right guy. There are certain people who just put the same kind of acoustic paneling all across the room, which we don't recommend at all.
Okay.
So there are different sort of paneling, acoustic paneling done for the different part of the room, basis which kind of speakers are installed and which kind of solution is done. So again, this designing, acoustic designing is a very important part here.
So when we say acoustic, can you explain in more simple terms for the viewers? What is exactly what we say acoustic? What we do?
So if I say in very very simple language, a very in a layman's language, there are certain material which reflect to the sound.
Okay.
There are certain materials which absorb to the sound.
Okay.
And there are certain material which create a diffusion.
Okay.
So when we talk about this paneling, so which material has to be used where?
Okay.
So that is the most imperative part here.
Okay. So that comes that's like the imperative part for the home theater.
Home theaters, right.
So there's another thing I've seen in a lot of offices as well as in homes also, there's a projector which is hanging from the ceiling.
Right.
And it looks pretty bad at times.
Absolutely.
So, is there any solution which would, take care of this or, make it at least some portability to it? So it's not, becoming ISO.
Again, a very, very, very good question. I would say, Karan, you have asked. You have done good amount of research. So there are two things which we can work out for it. One thing which is happening since long, so that is called projector lift.
Okay.
So we install the projector in a lift. So this lift comes out from the ceiling.
Okay.
Once the projector's job is over, it goes back into the ceiling and it totally merges with your ceiling.
Oh wow.
So it looks like a seamless ceiling. Okay. That is one solution. But these days, another solution which has come up it's from quite some time now. That is ultra short through projectors.
Okay.
So these are the projectors which can be kept just at a distance of say about 10 to 12 inches from your wall, from the screen wall, and it creates a huge screen on the wall.
Okay.
So the problem of looking the projector ugly on the ceiling, gets obsoleted once you keep the projector exactly next to the ceiling on the TV console itself. On that console wherein your screen is being put.
So you don't need that distance to project it on the screen.
So that is not required now. So this projector takes care of it.
Okay, that's wonderful. Any other thing or any other tips you want to give to the audience? Let's say people who are already having these solutions at home, how to make them keep working efficiently for a longer period of time?
So the most important thing is keep it neat and clean.
Okay.
Ensure that it is clean from the back side of its connection part, cleaned regularly.
Okay.
So that is one of the most imperative thing. And ensure that you have a right guy who could come visit you, check your systems, and can tell you what needs to be done and what not need to be done with it. Okay. And as and when required, we should upgrade the system.
Okay. So like these needs to be, let's say, taken every 6 months to a year?
Recommended quarterly. So every 3 months, someone should visit and check the system.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, Sandeep, for your time. We had a lot of inquiries from our audience regarding, home audio, video, home theater, home automation, which you have, answered so beautifully. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Karan. Thanks for inviting me on show. Thank you very much.
I hope we have answered all your questions. In case you have any more questions for Sandeep, do let us know. We'll get it answered for you. Thanks a lot. Keep safe, stay invested, keep watching.
Thank you.